None of these women you chase will do anything for you. So why are you sacrificing your time, your money, your energy, and your peace on them? Ever since I lost my virginity at the age of 14, it corrupted the way I connected with women and nearly ruined me. And I want to tell you how by elaborating on 5 personal situations that occurred in my life, especially the last one. So the first situation was, that I lost my virginity at the age of 14. I was in my sophomore year of high school. The thing was, I had a girlfriend at the time. We're gonna call her Lila. Me and Lila, we were like middle school sweethearts, high school sweethearts, if you will, right? But I met her in 8th grade and we started off as best friends. And, eventually we got to that point where we hopped in a relationship. I asked her to be my girlfriend. She was like, okay, I'm with it. At first, it started off as genuine love. It started off as us just being vulnerable, being real open with each other. It was real genuine. As time went on, I wanted to explore those sexual experiences with her. When I did that, I noticed something happened. The more and more we started to dive into, sexual activity, that love was starting to turn more into lust. Now, the first time we tried to, have sex, we were going to this pool party. At the time, I was in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. It was me, my friends, and then it was my girlfriend. It was for my birthday party. That's what it was for. It was for a birthday, right? So after the pool, we ended up, going back to my crib. I'm just telling them, like, yeah, Lila, we finna get back to this crib, and I really want to see where things go. She like, what you mean by that? I said, let's go ahead and just experience this together. So we go ahead, we make our way back to my crib, right? We get in that motherfucker. It was all smooth, chill at first, but then we started to get a little bit touchy. Okay, we started to get a little bit touchy. Okay. Started to escalate, started kissing on her. And right when we was about to go ahead and indulge in the act, garage door open. My mama come home. I'm like, what the f? Like, damn, bro, you gotta understand, I'm in that headspace. I'm trying to really get something going. So my mama open the garage. We jump up because we like on the living room couch. We like, oh shit, right? Mom's, she go ahead, open the door to enter the house. We sitting there trying to look all innocent like we weren't doing nothing. She like, what y'all doing in here? We like, mom, we just, chilling. But she ended up offering to, drive us back to the swimming pool because, we weren't trying to walk all that way again. Okay. That was attempt number 1. We almost got caught by my mother. Attempt number 2, guess what happened? We run that same play again. This time she come to the swimming pool. It was like 2 weeks later, but she with her cousins, a boy cousin and her girl cousin. Her girl cousin was a little bit younger and her boy cousin was like a year or 2 younger than us. We go ahead, we make our way to the pool. So we run that same place. So we tell the cousins, we like, hey, look, we finna go ahead and go to the crib real quick. We got some things to situate. He was like, what do you have to situate? I'm like, I'm finna bust her in this game of 2K. She been talking crazy. He like, yeah, you finna bust her in 2K? I'm like, finna bust her in 2K. Nigga, I'm about to go ahead and get that pussy today. That's what I was thinking in the back of my head. So I go ahead, I tell Lila, hey baby, it's time for us to go. She's like, okay, I think it is. And we go ahead and make our way back to the crib again. We get to the crib, open the door, boom, boom, we in there. Cool, now we in a bedroom. In my bedroom. And the thing with this was I was always watching videos on this, okay, I know how to do this, it was my first time. No, yeah, it's my first time. I'm like, okay, I think I can go ahead and, this is what we practice. I had some whipped cream, I had some strawberries in the refrigerator, so I'll go ahead and I bring that to the room, that we get the foreplay right. Put them in locations that, where I put them. I was putting them on you feel me? And I was licking them off. Yeah, and it was time for me to go ahead and insert my coin into her coin machine. Now, I tried to insert my coin into her coin machine, but then we ran into a problem. You see, my coin just wasn't going into this coin machine. It seemed the juices just weren't flowing for the coin machine, I guess. So I guess I was trying to stick a dry coin into her dry coin machine. I'm like, baby, what's going on? She kind of just waiting. And I was kind of confused. I didn't understand it at the time. I'm like, what are we doing? And then I realized, I said, oh, it's the wrong hole. I said, oh, she's like, yeah, it's the wrong, yes, the wrong hole. I said, okay, hold on, let me get this motherfucker right. So I go ahead and I try to hole beneath that hole, right? And for some reason, that coin machine wasn't operating properly either. So I'm thinking like, okay, what's going on now? Hey, baby, the coin machine not really working for what's going on, baby. She's like, I don't know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? She kind of just waited for me to put it in. And I get this not disgusted look, but it was just a look of frustration on my face. And I guess she turned around and seen it. She like, and she jumped up. I'm like, what's wrong? She said, maybe we should just do this another time. I'm like, hold on, baby, what you mean? Hold on, baby, you know that shit. No, because you know the way you're looking at me. She just walked out. I'm like, what the fuck? So she just putting on, like, she put on her clothes so quick. I'm like in a music video, R&B music video, like, babe, where you going? You know, I'm trying, like, what we doing? You know, so she just walking out the house. I'm like trying to put on my clothes. Like, hold on, I gotta put my drawers on. I put my drawers on. You know, I put on my shirt. I walk out the house. Where you going? She get to walking fast as shit. I'm like, damn. So I'm like, man, she tripping. So I'll grab my phone. I grab all my stuff. You know, so I lock up the door. Gotta lock the house. I don't give a fuck if you mad, baby. Can't be letting nobody into this crib. You know, baby, we gotta make sure this shit is real secure. Okay, so cool. You know what I'm saying? I make my way back to her. So, hey, listen, where you going? She not saying nothing. We end up walking all the way damn near to Noise swimming pool again. I'm like, baby, so you just gonna walk off? She end up coming back. She give me a hug. We like stand there for like 10 seconds. And then she walk off. I'm like, what the fuck is going? What is you doing, bro? Like, I ain't gonna lie. I didn't get it. We tried like, I'd say 5 to 6, maybe even 7 more times, and I just couldn't figure out how to insert my coin in her coin machine. I just couldn't figure it out. It's like every time I tried to go in, it just wasn't going. You know what I'm saying? She said it hurts or something. I'm like, what's going on here? And so the day finally came. She came over my house again. At this point, I moved to a different house, but she came over my house and it finally worked. I said, oh, it worked because I finally understood you got to get it wet before you go ahead and you insert it. I said, oh, I'm a kid. I don't know this shit. I'm just fucking around. I'm just trying to get my, get my wee stick wet, get my soul pole right. I'm trying to get my soul pole up in her. I go ahead. I'm in there doing what I got to do. I'm like, ooh, I'm doing dance moves in it. You know what I mean? But cool. So after that, we had more sexual experiences, but then I started to notice something. This was kind of changing the way I was viewing her, right? Because it wasn't just going on dates no more, all this loving shit. It was more of, I'm just hitting her up because I'm trying to fuck. I'm trying to go ahead and bust a nut. I'm trying to, I'm trying to get right. Every time I saw her, I'd even see it kind of in her. She kind of felt like, well, damn, you don't want to do nothing else. We'll be in the malls. I mean, we in the goddamn, the public bathrooms. We in the fitting rooms, man. We in the car with it. We almost got caught by security before, like, somebody walked in on us in the fitting room, but we wasn't like getting it. She was just sitting on my lap. It was so many instances. What it showed me was, I'm like, damn, it's getting real lustful. It's not a lot of love. It was a summer going into my junior year of high school. I finally understood, okay, I'm honestly not fucking with this no more because it was a lot of toxic things going on. It was like, it was this incident at her school because we went to 2 different schools on top of that at the time. She got to some incident where I guess she was in a game of truth or dare and somebody grabbed her ass and, something was going on. Why is you even playing a game of truth or dare? You in a whole relationship. Why is you playing with all these other niggas? So I'm like, okay, you want some bullshit. So that's when I started to get a little heartless. I'm gonna be real, because I'm just like, so now you playing with me? The last time I think I hit her up, we got into, some sexual relations and whatnot, what deal we had to do, but I ended up breaking up with her over the phone. It was before my birthday. I told her, like, look, baby, it's getting a little toxic. I don't really want to do this anymore. She's like, well, what you mean? You know what I'm saying? She was kind of crying. She was kind of, feeling some type of way, but I'm just like, I just want to separate. I don't want to keep on beating a dead horse. It's time for us to go ahead and separate and see what the world has to offer for the both of us. When I was saying this, what did that truly mean? I want to see other people. I break up with her. I think I went to Deer District. It was like a little event, when the Bucks was playing. Hey, we went to that event downtown Milwaukee. I was racking up on numbers. I was talking to different people, talking to growner women. I'm just like, shit, hey, baby, what's up? What's your name? That leads me to the moral of this. Don't prioritize your lustful desires. What this did to me, it made me objectify women, because even just seeing that, because it showed me like how women move, and then she would do like little fucking pranks and shit to kind of fuck with my emotions. So I was starting to learn more and more about female nature, more manipulative shit they do. I started losing my emotions. And even when she cried, I'm just like, but that leads me to number 2. The second situation that damaged me in a harmful way. Almost getting shot by this girl's little sister. At this time, I'm 17 years old. Now, after the breakup, I started to rack up, a few more, people I was dealing with, indulging in more sexual experiences and whatnot. At the time, I was talking to this girl. We're gonna call her Janice, because I don't want to say her real name. I'm at the crib. I'm just chilling. You know what I mean? Just chilling. Trying to figure out what to do for the day. Janice ended up texting my phone. We texting back and forth. I ended up saying, well, look, I'm trying to see you. She's like, pull up on me then. I'm like, say less, you know what I'm saying? So I go ahead, put on my clothes, you know, I put on me like a t-shirt, a jacket, some joggers, and some Uggs because it was snowing outside, you know what I'm saying? I hop in my whip, get to playing that. I'm on the way, hey. 80 in the 60 fucking ticket, cause I ain't had that in a minute. I'm vibing, I'm like, okay, y'all, we finna go ahead. So I go ahead, push the start. I had that Nissan Maxima, you know what I mean? I had that Nissan Maxima. Make my way to get into the Miams. I'm in the car, you know, I'm driving. She ended up texting me, baby. I said, what's up? She said, I want some McDonald's. I'm like, yeah, but I said, okay, yo. So I'm like, this motherfucker, okay. I said, what you want? I just want, you know, 2 10 pieces and some fries. I don't want to do too much. I make my way to McDonald's. I order the food. Okay. I'm already thinking like, she need 2 10 pieces? I said, she must have somebody else there with her. Here we go with this bullshit. I grab the food. I make my way to her house. She in this nice, big old subdivision. She like, what? She popping it. I'm thinking I'm at a celebrity house. I'm like, damn, this is a nice little establishment. You know, we got the nice paved roads, you know, the sidewalk was all shoveled. I'm like, ooh, this is Milwaukee, Wisconsin, right? But I don't even think it was. You know, it was like a nicer part of Wisconsin, but cool. So I ended up calling her, hey, baby, I'm outside. She like, you outside? I said, I'm outside. I'm outside. Shit, baby, you know, I'm outside and shit. You know, niggas finna go ahead, come in there. She was to you. So she like, okay, cool, I'll be down in just a second. So she go ahead, she opened the door. I'll greet her, warm embrace, you know what I'm saying? Give me a little handful of that booty, young. Got me a little handful. I'm like, yeah, baby, man, waiting to see you for a minute. You know, we have some things to talk about. Because, peep, I knew this girl since middle school. She was in 7th grade. I was in 8th grade. We was the same age, though. And there we get to talking, chopping it up. Her little sister come through. Talking about some, oh, you got some food? I'm like, that's why she wanted me to get 2 10 pieces. I'm like, all right, cool. So little sister come in, I greet little sis, like, what's going on, little sis? You know, I talked to her a bit. She was cool. She didn't cause no problem. She was, I feel like, supportive of what me and Janice had going on and shit. So I'm like, hey, Janice, you know, where your room at? I want to go ahead and make myself comfortable and whatnot. She's like, oh, yeah, I'll go ahead and show you to the room. I go ahead, make my way to Janice's room. Now, her little sister went to go fuck off and do something else with her life. You know what I mean? Go play with your toys or something. I don't know. But me and Janice, we hop in that room, close the door. So we get to talking, chopping it up. You know, we get to get a little touchy, a little kissy. But I'm like, hey, you know, let's put on a movie. The whole time I'm trying to make one, okay? I'm trying to make a movie, okay? Look, I'm sitting there in the bed just chilling, going with the vibe. She ended up putting on some movie. I don't know what it was. Some drama romance movie, I don't know. It had some sex scenes in it. So I'm like, maybe she's alluding to the fact that that's going to be us in a minute. You know, I'm all a little lustful ass. And now we started to make our escalation moves. I'm getting to touching on her. I'm telling her things in her ear like, yeah, baby, you know, I've been thinking about you a lot lately. She said, you have? I said, I have. And I wouldn't feel right if I didn't express how much I've missed you, right? So now we get to touching, we get to kissing. It's starting to really go somewhere. It's starting to go somewhere. Like, it's getting real spicy. Little sister, bust in the room. What y'all doing in here? I'm like, what is you doing? We all watching the movie? I wanna watch it too. Get your army mask out of here. I like tap Janice. I'm like, get up out of here. So Janice like, girl, go play with your toys. Don't you got your phone? Go play on your phone or something. Little sister talking about some, okay. She leave the room. Me and Janice, we back in there. You know, it kind of fucked up the vibes. I'm like, yeah, don't worry about that shit. She like, I'm so sorry about her. You know, she just be, you know how kids are. I'm like, I know how that be. But back to what me and you are going to be. You know, I just really feel like we were going somewhere and I wouldn't want to leave that experience behind. You know, I'm just sorry. I'm just kind of, you feel me? Just saucing her up. She laughing, she giggling and shit. So we getting back to getting touchy. Getting Philly, she gets to gripping on my, you feel me? I started getting a boner, you know what I mean? I'm like, all right, shit, man, this really about to go somewhere. Little sister, in the room again, like she keep on kicking the fucking door in. I'm like, what is wrong with this little motherfucker? She just keeps, boom, I swear, you ever play Resident Evil when they be kicking them damn doors in? Boom, you know what I mean? She kicked that bitch in. I'm like, yo, what is wrong with your little sister? It is. She come in the room. She says, hey, guess what? What? Look at this. I'm like, I know she ain't just pull out no gun on me. I know she ain't just up that motherfucker on me. So now I'm sitting here in this room, in the bed. Janice is like right here. Her little sister is like, over there. I'm sitting there, heart beating down my chest. I'm scared as shit. I'm like, oh, she is really about to shoot me. So I'm like, what you doing? I say, hey, Janice, what's wrong with your little sister? Janice like, I don't know. I don't know what she's doing. She's tripping. Right? I'm like, oh, she is fucking tripping. I'm like, are you good? She like, I just want to show you what it's like. What we do to intruders. What the fuck? I didn't even do nothing to you. I brought you some food. This is how I get repaid. This is how I get repaid. So I just get to looking up in the sky. We think of my life choices. Think about all the decisions I made to get up until this point. I got in my car. I got her some food. I drove 40 minutes to get to this destination. And I am met with the savage, brutal reality of having to be killed trying to get some pussy. So at this point, I start thinking to myself, wow, is this how I'm going to let my story end? Is this how it's all going to end for me? I'm on the bed still, mind you, I'm on the bed. I see a pillow. It's a fat ass pillow. I go ahead, I slither my hand over to it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just looking at her little sister. She just talking her shit. I said, hey, guess what? She said, what? Throw the pillow at me. Smack her in the face. I run over. Disarm her ass. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what the fuck is you doing? You know what I'm saying? I go ahead, pass the pistol to Janice. I said, hey, tell her to put that shit up, man. Or you put that shit up. Don't let her, right? And Janice was just, she's just so shocked, right? Cause I really, you gotta understand. I ran up, right? While she was dazed from the pillow. You know what I'm saying? I really disarmed her. Like I was in some military training for real. You know, I ain't never did that before. I just seen it on the games. You know, I was playing them games as a kid, man. You know, you gotta make sure you on point. Janice goes ahead to put the gun up. I don't know where she put it up, but she went to go put the gun up. Her little sister, you know, as Janice leaves the room, her little sister follows behind her. So I'm like, I hope she's putting it up somewhere she ain't gonna see it. The little bitch is following behind you, about to see where you put it. Janice ends up coming back into the room, right? And she says, I am so sorry. I don't know what we would have, done if, you would have got shot. She kind of laughing, kind of joking about it, trying to, soften the mood. I'm just like, I done came all this way. I gotta see this shit through. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking with my dick. I'm not thinking logically. I should have been left. I just got a gun pulled on me. But I'm like, I'm gonna see this shit through. So I'll go ahead and tell Janice, I'm like, look, baby, and then to a nigga like me, let's not let this happen again and make it do what it do with us. I'm trying to sound all smooth and shit. Whole time, I'm really scared as fuck, bro. Like my life was just about to be taken from me by a child. We get back in the bed. She end up closing the door again. We get to talking. One thing starts to lead to another again. You already know we getting a little touchy, we getting a little feeling. Like, yeah, baby, I know that just happened, but that kind of turned me on the way. You know what I mean? You walked out of there, that ass was just jiggling behind you, you know what I mean? I'm just kind of talking in her ear, just telling her some seductive sexual things, what I want to do to her, telling her the things that we should do. I go in, I start kissing on her neck. I kid you not. This little bitch bust into the room again. Kick the door in, come in. With the same fucking gun. I'm like, all right, bro. Like, what the I look at Janice, because how the hell does she still have this gun? You just put it up. Janice just, what the hell you mean you don't know? You didn't, try to hide the gun from her when you put it up. Now she's just here with the same gun. She keep busting in here, kicking the damn door open like she Leon from fucking Resident Evil. I don't know what the fuck to do. Janice get up though, walk over to her little sister, grab the gun from her. The room just get quiet. The music on the TV, like everything, it all went off. It was like a brief silence. Janice gets to looking at the gun. She look at her sister. She crack a little smile. She look at me. I'm like, you finna go put that shit up, right? Put that shit up. What the hell are we waiting for? What's going on here? I'm sitting here just thinking, what the hell is about to happen? Janice, she cock it back. Wow. I'm thinking, this is it. Now she turned on me. The woman I came over here for, I drove 40 minutes, I got you some food, and this is how I'm repaid. And she ended up laughing. Now she's laughing. Did she? Fuck is funny. You have a gun in your hand. You're not pointed at me, but you're laughing, looking at me like you're about to do something you have no business doing. She says, "Boy, I wasn't gonna shoot you. You need to stop." She gonna say, "Hey, stop playing with him, girl. Stop playing with him, girl." Fuck is y'all problem? What is wrong with y'all? Is this how people joke around when they just, are so toxic, so dysfunctionally fucked up? Right? So she ended up going to put the gun away again. Her sister, once again, follows behind her. Janice comes back into the room, but this time, I guess she put something up against the door so her sister couldn't get in no more. Now, we back in the bed. I'm just thinking, my head is all fucked up, but I'm trying to play it cool, I came here on a mission, right? I came here to slay that dragon, right? I came over here to slay the dragon, and I'm going to give this motherfucker the soul pole, right? I have a soul pole. That's my weapon. And I'm going to slay the dragon. It's a beautiful fucking dragon, right? I'm going to take it down. With that, I go ahead. I sit in the bed and act like it's all okay. I sit in the bed and act like everything is so fine because I'm so horny. We get back to talking, building up that seductive tension. I'm like, "Hey, look, I don't know what the fuck y'all got going on, baby, but you know what I'm saying? You already know what I'm on. You know what I mean? I try to take it back to that. I don't know how the fuck I even took it from that to that. We were all on an emotional roller coaster. And I'm telling her, let's go ahead and make her do what it do. So I get kissing on her, touching her. You know what I'm saying? She's touching on me. Hit my little finger. You know what I'm saying? Just pulling her panties down slowly. She ended up stopping me like, hold on. I gotta tell you something. I'm like, what you gotta tell me? Well, I've been through so much. Now what? Bitch, now what? She ended up telling me, well, I'm on my period. You're on your period. She said, yeah. In my head, I'm just thinking, I drove 40 minutes. I got you and your little sister some fucking food. I got a gun pulled on me not once, but twice. And you laughed at me. You laughed telling your little sister, stop playing with him, girl. Stop playing with him, girl. And now I'm here in this bedroom. You're telling me you're on your period? No comma, period. She ended up telling me, you know how it is. I don't. I then proceed to come up with a follow-up response to her statement. You still can use your mouth, right? She looked at me, she said, I said, wow. I just got played like a goofy. So we in the bed cuddling for about 10 to 15 more minutes. I'm just thinking to myself, I did all of this to get a gun pulled on me and get some fucking cuddles. Then her parents call her. Oh, her parents are calling. I wonder what's going on because, she's home alone. She picks up the phone. Hey, Dad. Hey, Mom. They're like, hey, they like on speaker. They said, me and your mother about, 5 minutes away. We'll be home soon. I need you to understand what I'm going through. I almost just got killed by her little sister. Almost just got murdered. And now, she's on her period. She ain't trying to use her mouth. She's not trying to sexually satisfy me. I'm stressed. And now your parents are on the way home. She look at me. You gotta go. I just get to putting on my shit. I ain't had no words. I just put on my shit. Right? You know what I mean? She says, yeah, sorry. I just look at her. Last time you ever gonna see me around this motherfucker. Put on my jacket. Grab my shit. I'm just grabbing shit I don't even need. She said, that's not yours. I said, here. Fuck. Go downstairs. She looked at me. She said, it was nice seeing you. I give her a hug. So I still give me a little handful. Give me a little handful. And now I'm outside. Her parents, guess what? As I'm coming out the house, I see them coming down the street. So I kind of get low now, and I'm in the goddamn bushes. I'm in the bushes. I'm kind of making my way to my car. They drive up. Now I got to kind of stay low because I'm like in some bushes, and I don't want them to see me. Hey, the car door open. He got out the car. He stand up. Look at me. By the time he looked at me, I was already in my car and I drove the fuck off. That's when I realized this is really costing me. Chasing ass is costing me my goddamn life. What's the moral of the story? A dangerous man is a man with his dick in his hands. Don't think with your dick. Hey man, if you enjoying this video so far, comment the word relatable in the comments down below. And that leads me to situation number 3. A one-night stand at Hooters. We're done with the Milwaukee arc. Those 2 stories before were in Milwaukee. Now we are in Atlanta, Georgia. So at the time, I was 19 years old. 2 years later from the last situation, I'm chilling at, the crib I'm currently at. At the time, my brother was here. My brother ended up telling me, hey man, you need to start, getting out here, treating yourself more. Start loving on yourself more, nigga. And I'm like, you know what, bro? You're right. After that conversation, I decided to go ahead, okay, cool. I need to just clear my head. I've been tired, all this content I've been doing, or everything, this business. It's a lot going on. I just want to go somewhere, get served some nice food, buy a woman in some nice clothes, make sure she's talking to me right. I take my ass to Hooters, okay? So I go in, right? I'm greeted by this beautiful light-skinned woman. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay. I said, will you be serving me today? She says, I might, but there might be somebody else serving you. I don't know. I might be serving you, right? So she ended up leading me to this table. I said, baby, I don't mean to cut you off, but I want to sit right there, right? She's like, okay, cool. So now I'm like on this high island table, but I can see like the whole room because I like to see who coming in and out, right? I need to be able to see everything within here, right? I'm not finna be just sitting duck. I need to be seeing what's going on, who walks in, who's walking out, what's going on, who's all in this area. So I sit down. At the time, I had my book. I was reading How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. I'm sitting there, just waiting on my server to come to me, and this chocolate drop. This chocolate woman comes up to me like, excuse me, how you doing today? I'm doing well. She said, okay, I'll be here to take your order. She says, what's that book you're reading, right? I'm like, oh, this right here? This How to Win Friends and Influence People, just trying to work on my social skills. She's like, okay, I love a man who reads. I'm actually into journaling, so I be journaling and reading too. I'm like, oh, really? So now we having a bit of conversation, and I could tell she was feeling me. It was the way she was looking at me. She wasn't even my server, right? It was supposed to be the light-skinned girl, but I guess now she just kind of intercepted. I saw the light-skinned girl was coming toward me at first, but then she kind of intercepted and said, I said, oh, this motherfucker, this motherfucker. I'm like, what? I'm like, this motherfucker that took her customer, she wants to serve me out of everybody. I'm like, okay, she's choosing. So now I know that. I'm like, okay, let the games begin. So we just get to talking, having a bit more conversation. But I ended up ordering my food. And after I ordered my food, she said, okay, well, I'll have that right out for you. She gave me a little smile, looked me up and down, biting on her lip a little bit. I'm like, hey, you better stop. Don't get me riled up around this motherfucking shit. She walk off giggling. I'm kind of, I'm in a good mood. She ended up coming back periodically. Like, the food wasn't even ready yet, but she kept stopping at my table, right? She just kept stopping at my table, and we keep on having some conversation, quick conversation. Then she hurry up and get back to her job. Then she come back to my table, we have some more conversation, then she go back to her job. I was like, this is what it's like when a woman actually likes you. Now I'm really fucking with her because I'm like, okay, she a real one. She really trying to make an effort to have some conversation with a nigga even when she on the clock, right? So don't be letting these women play with you saying they don't got time. People make time for the people they want to make time for. So if she isn't making time for you, she's just not that into you. So, you know what I mean? She keep coming back to the table. We keep talking, man. She showed me her journal. She keep showing me things. We keep on talking. She gave me this little handshake, you know what I mean? Just kind of, you know what I mean? I knew it was there. It was some sexual tension being built. So cool. She ended up bringing me back my food. As soon as she brought me back my food, okay, she went out, she did her job a little bit, you know what I mean? She had to serve other people. But she came back to my table, sat down, and we were having a conversation as I was eating my food. I said, oh, she's fucking with me. We still talking. We still chopping it up, getting to know one another, telling each other, oh, yeah, do you like the wings here? I said, you want some wings? She said, oh, I can't eat on the clock. You know how they gonna be. I said, you can't eat on the clock. I said, maybe we can probably get some food after this. She said, maybe we can. She said, okay, look, well, matter of fact, what you got going on for the week? She said, I don't got nothing going on for the week. I just work and whatnot, but, I could definitely see what's up with my schedule. Like, I just love dealing with women who are actually interested. I love when the interest is mutual, right? So I go ahead and say, well, look, what you got going on Wednesday? Because at the time, It was like Sunday. She said, oh, well, Wednesday, okay, I'll actually be off on Wednesday. I'm like, oh, you will? She says, I will. All right, I'm like, oh, shit. So I go ahead, I said, okay, well, look, we should go ahead and do something on Wednesday. Take my number. She says, I will, and I want to give you mine too, or something like that. I'm like, cool. So, you know what I mean? We exchange information. We still talking a bit more. But I ended up finishing my food. She says, that all you would like? Would you like anything else to go? I said, I just looked at her. She says, you know we can't do that right now. I'm on the clock. I said, we gonna do it soon, though. We just kind of knew what was going on. We both knew, what was really happening. It wasn't much that had to be said because we were both present within that moment, and we could it was the energy. So I'm like, okay, cool. Well, I'll see you later. I ended up saying, but hold on, what's your name? She said, my name Riri. I said, okay, Riri, my name's Emery. She said, I like that. So yeah, you know what I mean? Brief exchange of words, our farewells, and then I went back to the crib. I go back to the crib, I tell bro, I'm like, hey, I'm lit. Cause I love when I encounter a woman who's mutually interested. We all know how it is to deal with women. Some of them be wishy-washy. Some of them, they just be low interest. But when you find a woman who's actually into you, you can just be yourself so much authentically. It's like y'all just click, y'all personalities align. Like y'all just, I'm like, damn, I'm feeling amazing. So I go home. She ended up texting me. She said, it was nice meeting you, Emery. And I said, the pleasure is mine. It was nice meeting you too, Riri. We kept in contact a bit, what I'm saying? I'm just kind of texting her, guess what I'm cooking today? So what you cooking, what I'm saying? I showed her I was cooking some food and whatnot. And we hopped on the phone that same night too. Okay, cool. We just talking about, the date or whatnot, talking about how we gonna go ahead and do some, getting to know each other a little bit better. The day of the date comes. I ended up calling her that morning, right? She like, yeah, how you doing? I said, I'm doing amazing. I said, how you doing? She says, I'm doing amazing too. I said, I'm looking forward to seeing you today. She says, oh, you are? I am too. So I'm like, okay. Now she ain't flaking. You know what I'm saying? She confirmed today we got this energy going on. I'm like, damn, I'm really fucking with her. So look, I had these cards, right? And it's some game for y'all. I had these cards I created, which were like truth or dare cards. I created them that same day. So I had them cards. Had some smell good, had my attire, and I said, okay, cool, well, look, I'm gonna pick you up at 4. I said, okay, cool, I'll be waiting. I go ahead, you know what I'm saying, about 3 o'clock, you know what I mean? Cause she about probably 30 away. So 3:30, something like that. I call her, I said, like, look, I'm on the way. I actually got her some snacks because she was telling me some snacks that she liked over the phone with me. So I got her some snacks, I got her a drink that she said she liked, and her favorite candy and her favorite drink. I ended up driving to her house. She came down them stairs. I'm like, okay, there she go. She got in my car. At the time, I'm still driving a Nissan, the Nissan Maxima. She jumped in. She like, hey, how you doing? We give each other a nice warm embrace. I'm like, yeah, baby, doing amazing. Looking forward to seeing where this day can go. She says, I am too. So we just get to chopping it up now. Now I'm just kind of asking her more questions like, okay, yeah, so I know you from, because she already told me she was from Las Vegas. I'm like, okay, you from Las Vegas, I'm from Milwaukee and shit. So, how is it out there? She telling me how it is. We driving on the way there. I was asking her about her last relationship. She said she was into some toxic relationship where it was a man living with her, and it got to the point where he wasn't trying to move out. It was like he kind of did a hostile takeover. He got his homeboys over. He just throwing all these, functions. He just kind of bullshitting. She had to get rid of him. I'm like, that's crazy. So I'm like, damn, okay. So, we just having some good conversation. We just talking for real. I ended up telling her, hey, look, but what we about to get into today? She said, what we about to get into? I said, we finna go ahead and play a little spontaneous game and get some amazing food. She said, is that so? I said, it is. At first, we get some food. It was like a chill little car date. We go to Atlantic Station. You know where Atlantic Station is in Atlanta? It's like it's really just like outside malls. When I got there, with her, with Riri in my car, we parked the car in this nice little area where we got a nice view. I whip out the card game. Now listen, whip out the card game. This card game was a little freaky, was a little intimate, was a little physical, okay? We get to playing it, we having fun, we learning more about each other, learning more about each other sexually, learning more about each other mentally, things of that nature. I don't know why I say it's actually like that. Yeah, we just learning more about each other. We had some dares on there. We doing some dares. We had some truths on there. We learning some truths about each other. Then it got to a point. I'm like, hey, listen, it's about to get a little dark and a little over here. I got another spot we can actually go. It's a beautiful overlook of the city. She said, it is? Yeah, so I took it to my spot. I ain't even gonna tell you how to spot, y'all. I can't get you all the game now. So, you know, I had this nice ass view. So we just get to talking more. You know, we get to looking at each other so intimately, so deeply. Still playing this truth or dare card game. And then we ran out of cards. She said, oh, looks like we out of cards. I said, I think I got one last dare I want to do. She said, what is that? I said, I just want to go in and suck on your neck, let you know how my lips feel. She said, go ahead. And that's what started it. One thing leads to another. And before you know it, we in there just doing what grown folks do. Woo! Doing what grown folks do. The best sex I ever had. Anyway, so we go ahead, finish up our session. She was hungry, so I was like, hey, cool, we can go get some food. So we go ahead and go to Cookout. She ended up telling me, like, yeah, you know, you could just drop me back off at my job, honestly, because I gotta go to work. I'm like, oh, dang, you don't want to go home? She said, oh, I'm just go to work. Okay. You know what I mean? I guess. No, because she said she had to go back home with her friend, I guess. And then she was going to make her way back to the crib from there. I'm like, hey, okay, baby. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to let you go ahead and do what you got to do. She ended up, you know, giving me a warm embrace after we arrived at the destination, just telling me, okay, listen, I want to see you again. I said, okay, let's see each other this Sunday. She like, okay, we can do that. Cool. It was a smooth, you know, smooth interaction, smooth time we had. It was amazing. Now, here's where things get tricky. She ended up texting me, you know what I mean? She texted me a little bit. I can actually read you the text. I'm gonna read you the text. After she leaves, she texts me, have a good night. I say, get home safely now. I hope you enjoyed yourself and get some good rest. Now, the next day, it was Thanksgiving, so I say, happy Thanksgiving. I'm already knowing you eating good, LOL, and I sent the little turkey. She says, no, I'm not, love, with a sad face emoji. I'm at work, very sad right now, low key. Happy Thanksgiving. Now, I don't text her back. And I don't know why. I know that was kind of fucked. It was like 8:55 p.m. At the time, you know, I was just kicking it with the family. You know what I mean? I was kicking it with the family. And I don't think I saw her text actually till like later, like the next day. I was really just kicking it with the family. I just didn't feel the need to respond because, you know, I said, okay, I'm gonna just call her, you know, because I'd be busy, you know, I was just doing stuff. I just knew, like, okay, I'm gonna call her though, right? I'm gonna call her and, you know, we gonna talk. And we already had something planned for Sunday, so I'm thinking, okay, I'm just gonna call her, you feel me, on, you know, Saturday, you know, tap in with her. Okay, 2 days later, she texts me, it's just crazy as hell you not texting back now. You ain't have to put up no act with me to get cracked, LOL. You could have just said that. Be smooth, though. So I sent her a voice message, right? Because she sent me that at 1 a.m. I sent her a message at 7 a.m. As soon as I wake up, because I see the message, I'm telling her, like, look, baby, you know, that wasn't even the case. You know, I just been with my family. I just been, you know, focused on doing what I was doing. I was just busy, and I definitely didn't feel that just because, you know, we engaged into some intimacy. That's not why I'm acting different. No, and I really want to see you, and, you know, this Sunday I thought we was, you know, we was gonna go ahead and see each other. But I ended up sending that voice message and she never responded. I'm like, and to this day she hasn't responded. So I'm like, damn, I thought we had something. Right now, I could have been that guy, pull up to her job, she was going up. But I'm just like, I ain't finna do all that, bro. You know, and I get it. Maybe I should have went ahead and texted her back right then and there. You know, I don't know, man. I just wasn't really thinking about it because I was busy with shit. The reason that I didn't even respond to that message, like I told y'all, I feel like my emotions I was just, I guess, emotionally unavailable. I don't know. It was just like, damn, did I do something wrong? And most people see this, they're like, yeah, I mean, she was sad. Why didn't you, you know, comfort her? Why didn't you say nothing? I guess I just didn't really think about it. I just didn't care. Now I'm starting to notice, you know, the more I'm engaging into sexual intimacy, the more I'm just dealing with women, the more I'm just chasing women, honestly, I'm just losing my emotions. I'm not emotionally there. I'm now emotionally neglecting women I deal with. I'm like, damn. Moral of that story is stop emotionally neglecting people, right? You have to stop being this cruel ass motherfucker, right? Now I can't be that guy to say, man, you know, she just tripping. I'm trying to look at it from her point of view. We engaged into that intimacy together now. She's feeling like, damn, he just kind of took advantage of me. I gave him a piece of me and now he's running off. He's not showing me the same level of interest. He's not showing me that same attention. That wasn't even the case, baby. You know, I really was still fucking with you. I thought we was gonna have something going on Sunday, right? What if I just called her right now? What day is it? It's Thursday? Fucking, I'm gonna call her right now. I'm gonna call her. I'm gonna call her. I'm gonna call her, nigga. Oh, she blocked me. Hey, look, man, if you're a high performing man and anything I'm saying is resonated with you, it's because you know how having the wrong woman can set you back in your life. So if you want to fix your dating life so you can become the type of man high value women naturally choose, just click that first link in my description and apply to work with me, man. I've personally worked with a handful of men, helping them make transformations. And no matter what stage you're at in your dating life, I'm confident we can get you the results you want. So that leads me to story number 4. Dating a murderer at the age of 19. So it's about like a month later, right? Now we in December. I ended up getting a text on Instagram from a random account. I'm like, who the hell is this? You know, I'm chilling in my room. I'm like, who the hell is this? So I look at it, it say, you handsome. I'm like, bro, who the fuck is this, bro? I'm thinking it's one of my followers like trolling me from, you know, one of these accounts or something. So I'm like, man, who is this? I ended up going to her page and I'm like, damn, she kind of fine. I'm like, whew. Oh, I'm like, okay. So I go back. I say, I appreciate it. You fine as hell too. She said, thank you. She ended up telling me, I saw you in person, but I never got the opportunity to speak. So I'm like, why didn't you say nothing? She said, well, you left. Now I found you on IG, so you know what I mean? I guess we can go ahead and continue that. And then I ended up saying, okay, well, cool. Let's talk more on the phone. What's your number? She sent me her number. Okay, cool. Now I'm texting her number. Okay, now I got these text messages. Okay, now I got the text messages. I say, this M, lock my number in. What's your name? She say, Ada. How about you? I say, Emery. You can call me M for short, right? Okay, look now. I say, you more of a caller or a texter? She say, shit, both. I respond, okay, well, I prefer to hear voices when I'm getting to know someone. You free around 10? She say, I should be. I say, bet. I'm gonna call you then. You know, I said the day go by, 10 p.m. come, I end up calling her. We hop on the phone and we get to talking. I'm like 5 minutes into the call, 10 minutes to the call. You know, we just talking, getting to know one another. And then I just hear a, I'm like, fuck was that? She say, what was what? I'm like, did you just, I heard like a moan. Then I get to hear some macaroni noises. And you know how you stir macaroni in a pot? I'm like, I say, Ada. She say, yes, Emery. I say, I know you're not doing what I think you're doing over this phone call. She say, but what if I am? Now, if you don't know what she was doing, she was playing with herself while she was talking to me. I'm like, oh my God, I can't make this, I cannot make this shit up. I swear, God strike me down right now if I'm lost. No, for real. So I'm sitting there, I'm thinking like, this motherfucker kind of, you know what I mean? This is the first call we hopped on and she ended up finishing on the phone. She said, just keep talking. And she finished to the sound of my voice. But then we start having more conversation after that. I'm like, damn, you know, we was talking all freaky to each other. But she ended up telling me she saw me in Target. When I left, she wanted a way to find me. So she said she went through Facebook and Instagram until she finally found my page. I said, well, how did you find me? She said, well, I just know how to get what I want. I always get what I want. I'm like, okay. That was kind of creepy. I'm reading that was kind of creepy, but I was kind of, all right, it kind of turned me on a little bit. I'm not saying I got a kink for crazy women, but it's just so spontaneous, I swear. And that's why I'm making this video, because this shit just ruined me. We end up saying how we want to see each other, right? So we made plans to see each other. So I'm like, okay, cool. Well, look, we're gonna go get some food, you know, get to know one another and really, you know, just get better acquainted. Okay, so the day before the date, you know, we ended up texting a bit. She gonna say, go in the mirror and take me some pictures, please. So I'll go ahead and send her some mirror pictures. Cause you know, I said, well, we stay picture ready. She said, so damn handsome. But I'm not satisfied. Drop some more. I say, only if you send some too. She say, I send you what I took earlier and what I forgot to send you, right? So she's getting sending me some pictures of her, and I reacted, you know, with the little eyes to the image. I was like, okay, I see you. I say, you better put that tongue up for something happened to it. And she say, I forgot one more pic. And she sent me a picture of her ass, you know, her bending over. I respond to that text message, yeah, I'm gonna need to see and feel your touch tomorrow. She ended up telling me, next time I better get more than 3 pics too. You know I love your handsome ass. I respond to that message, you keep that same energy when I see you tomorrow. I'm craving that physical touch. She say, all I know is you better be able to go more than 1 round. I say, I'm still chilling right now, but I'm gonna show you. And I want them nails wrapped around my, respectfully. She said, yeah, we better be locked in after this. Pussy been marinating for a year. Matching pajamas by Christmas Eve. The time ended up coming and she ended up telling me, I don't know if I'm finished doing hair by 8. Now, this let me know, okay, I'm probably not gonna see her today. Cool. So I'm not seeing her ass today. That's pretty much what happened. So she ended up saying, okay, let's reschedule for Wednesday. So that day comes. Now, she said, you know, let's meet at 8 p.m. I'm like, cool. Ada ended up calling me before we were about to, you know, link up. And she ended up telling me, yeah, you know, this guy, you know, he was in the car with me. It was me and my sister. He didn't want to let me leave. I know where he kept his gun. So I just grabbed his gun. I pointed at him and I shot him. And then me and my sister got out the car and we ran off. Did you just confess to killing somebody? And I'm supposed to be seeing you? But I try to shrug past it like, okay. What am I doing? She ended up saying, I'm on the way. I said, cool, I'm on the way too. We make our way to meet up. Now the plan was for us to just meet at CVS. The first time we were planning to have a movie date. Now this time we were just trying to meet up in person to see each other. So we were just gonna drive to like a CVS, right? I ended up telling her, FaceTime me before you leave. She gonna say, for? Question mark. I say, because I'm out right now and I'm trying to meet you in person beforehand. I sent her the location. She said, the Subway, that's what you want to eat? I said, no, that's what I'm gonna meet you at first, because it's like a Subway by the CVS. You know, I just want to meet this woman in person. You know, I'm just trying to meet her in person in a public place, right? Where there's people around. She ended up saying, okay, I'm putting my niece to sleep and then I'll be on the way. Now I'm out here just waiting for a minute. I'm like, damn, she kind of taking a long time. I'm from Milwaukee. I'm trying to make sure I'm not being set up. I'm just trying to make sure, you know, she's actually got to do what she said she's going to do. You know, she said she's going to meet up here. I'm kind of posted. I kind of even drive around a little bit, you know what I mean? Just to make sure. I'm like, man, I don't know. Then she ended up calling me. Hold on, babe, I'm, what's going on, Ada? Ada, you good? Babe, I'm hearing punches being thrown. I hear somebody, get her, y'all. She said, hold on, babe, they trying to jump me. I'm gonna have to call you back. They got me fucked up. It's like she out there fighting. I'm like, oh, what's going on? She say, I can't do this. She was talking crazy on the internet. Now she got me fucked up. I'm finna show her ass. I'm like, yo, I'm dealing with some crazy ass women. I say, Ada, she hang up the phone. I drive home because what the fuck are you doing? The next time we tried to meet up, for some reason, her phone just wasn't working. We tried to meet up at CVS again. We trying to see like, you in this car? You know, we trying to like meet up. I'm thinking it's her, it's not her. I'm like, what the fuck going on? She ended up saying, I think I'm at the wrong location. What? You at the wrong location? She's like, yeah, I'm at the wrong location. She was like 40 minutes away from me. I'm like, oh, she bullshit. How the fuck do you put in the wrong location and I send you the location? What are you doing? She said, man, hold on. I'm gonna call you when I get home. I'm like, your phone tweaking, but all right. So she ended up calling me damn near 12 a.m. midnight. When I tell you, she calls my phone. First thing she say is, Emery. I say, what's wrong? My brother got shot. What? It's like there's something always happening. She just keep on, it's all of this shit going on. I'm like, yo, what? Your brother got shot? yeah, he's hospitalized. I don't know if he gonna make it. You know, she's crying on the phone with me. I'm hearing her screaming, like losing her shit. Like she just unlocked her fucking Mangekyo shine gun in that motherfucker. Like if you know, you know. I'm like, yo, she's tweaking. I'm sitting here like, yo, I don't know what I'm finna do. Like this woman's tripping. Should I even be? I'm like, look, you know, you gonna get through this. You know, it can be. I ain't laugh. It can be tough, but you gotta understand. You know, you gonna make it through. You know, I'm just trying to give her some motivational words, you know, to uplift her. She said, "You right." And she said, okay, look, you know, I'll talk to you tomorrow. I'm like, cool, I'll talk to you tomorrow, cool. I ain't gonna lie, it's not funny, but it's just like, what is wrong with your life? Your life is full of just so much drama and so much BS. What is going on? Now, the next time we tried to link, she wanted me to come over for Christmas Eve. And I'm just thinking like, it's already been 3 times I didn't try to link with her and some BS happened, but I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna try to get her the benefit of the doubt. I know how life is. I really do like this woman. Let me just see what's up. So I'm like, okay, cool. We can go ahead and make something happen on Christmas Eve. So, you know, she ended up texting me that, you know, you want to come over on Christmas Eve. I say, yeah, what time? She say, doesn't matter. I say, bet, I can slide at like 6 p.m. You live like an hour away, right? She says, my grandma stays 2 hours from you, but we can meet somewhere and you can follow me if you want. I say, that worked for me. Your phone working this time? She's gonna say, don't piss me off. You linked with anyone else since we talked? I say, nah, it's only been a week. She texts back, anything can happen. I say, that's true, but let's just worry about what's gonna happen when I see you. She say, what's gonna happen? I say, you might just have to repent for these sins we gonna partake in. She said, is that so? I say, very much so. She gonna say, I guess. After we fuck, then what? I say, only time will tell, but honestly, I just wanna spend some quality time with you. Who all finna be there though? She say, my grandma, mother, and my brother. I don't wanna fuck and then we don't lock in. I'd rather we fuck after locking in. If you don't know what locking in means, that means get into a relationship. I'm not finna let you peer pressure me into a relationship. I'm not finna let you, you know, I'm not finna let you just force me into a relationship just so I can have sex with you. That's not finna happen with me. I'll respond with this text message right here. I see, to be honest, I'm not too worried about fucking. I already told you I'm in the process of loving and pouring into myself, so I'm not rushing into a relationship, but I'm not opposed to getting in one, just taking my time and getting to know you to see where things go. And bet, looking forward to seeing him tomorrow. That was the day before Christmas Eve. Now, this is the day of Christmas Eve. I'm telling y'all, bro, I'm not making this shit up. I sent her this voice message in the morning. Grand rising. Well, almost the afternoon. Just was thinking about you. You know, I just wanted to hear your voice this morning. You know, start my day off. You know, speak some positivity into me. But yeah, I was just calling you, you know, chop it up with you. I know yesterday you hopped off the phone, got on the phone with your best friend and whatnot, but it's neither here or there, you know. Looking forward to seeing you today. Just hit me when you free and we'll talk. Yeah, I tried putting that sexy voice and shit. You know what I mean? Nigga I just woke up. She texted me back at 12:47 p.m. She say, hey, sorry, we out running last minute errands and wrapping hella gifts. I don't know what time we'll be finished. I say, got you. Do you want to see me today? She say, yeah, I do low key. I say, so do I. Just let me know what it's looking like by 6 p.m. If everything's situated, I'm gonna pull up on you. She ended up telling me though, hey, well, my grandma said you can come over, but you gotta spend a night if you come over. I'm like, fuck it. I say cool, right? I'm like, cool. Let's go ahead, let's see what it do. For some reason, she wasn't trying to just send me the location. I say, send me the low. She say, you wanna come straight here? I say, yeah, unless you wanna meet somewhere first. She said, it's up to you. Are you staying the night? I say, I can, but if I don't, I'm gonna leave early morning. She say, how early? Damn, like 1 or 2 a.m. I'm gonna be tired, but I can make it. Ada takes back. My grandma said if you want to come over, you gonna have to spend the night because she don't want any late night company. I say, all right, that's cool. She takes back, are you sure? I say, yeah, for sure. 10 minutes go by, 15 minutes go by. She ain't send the low. I say, what's the word? I put like WTW, what's the word? She texts, hold on, let me finish this gift. Take like 5 minutes. Okay, and then she texts me back. Okay, so what we doing again? Send the fucking location, bro. Like, I say, I'ma just come straight to you. Send me the low. She say, are you sure you want to do that? I say, yeah, I gotta drive there anyway, and it's getting late, so come on. She say, I don't know, I'm worried. Then you say you leaving around 1. I swear I don't got I'm getting mad now. I'm getting mad because I feel like she playing with me right now. I say, Ada, I said I was cool with spending the night. I'ma just leave in the morning. Send me the low so I can be on the way. She say, okay, well, I just shared my location with you. Let me know when you outside. It didn't pop up. So I say, it ain't pop up. Just send me the Addy instead. She says, look on Find My iPhone instead. It says you can see it. I sent her a screenshot of what I see. I say, Ada, I can't see the Addy. She said, I just reshared it. I don't want to text the address to you because I don't want you popping up randomly on me when I'm mad at you or something, because it's my grandma's house and not my mama. First of all, if you send me your location, I can still get the address when I'm there. What are you talking about? And second of all, you not, bro. Ain't nobody trying to stalk your goofy ass. Don't nobody give a fuck that much. Like, straight up. If I'm mad at you, you need to be worried about me not talking to you ever again. Or the fuck? I'm not gonna be sitting here popping up on you. I sent her another screenshot of the Find My iPhone again, just showing her, hey, it's still not working. Then I say, regardless, I'm going to see the address once you share it. Plus, I'm not even on that type of timing. She says, I just reshared it literally. Do you want me to turn it off and turn it back on? I say, by the way, it says Emery with the E. My name's spelled wrong in your phone. Wrong contact, maybe? She texts back, pause, because who you feeling like, or who the fuck are you talking to? This is my second time telling you about talking to me like that. That's one. Two, I was typing fast when I typed your name in. I say, Ada, this ain't the time. It's still not working. What's the Addy? It's going on 11 o'clock. She texts back, Emery, I'm literally saying this for the third time to not talk to me like that. I just said I don't want to text it, especially if you can see it on Find My iPhone. Like, bro, what the fuck is you talking? Like, women don't think. Women don't think, bro. I swear. Why are you getting mad that I can't see it? I'm telling you, I can't see it. Just send the address. If I was really on that type of timing, even if you sent the Find My, it would say your address and I can just screenshot it. Why don't you want to have it in text? The fuck? Like, what are you talking about? Once again, I sent her a screenshot of the Find My iPhone saying, hey, I can't see this. She texts me back, I'ma just have to sneak you in. I said, huh? She don't want me to come? She texts, it's not that. It's the fact she accidentally set the alarm and she won't tell me to call her so I can unset it. That bitch ain't fucking accidentally unset the alarm. She did that on purpose, bro. Oh my gosh, dog. I say, okay, can you send the Addy so I can be on the way? She finally sends the Addy at 11 o'clock. It took 4 damn hours almost. We was texting at like 6. She could have been sent it at 6. I could have been there by 8. But no, she wanted to take all this time. So now I gotta get there by 1 a.m. After she texts me the Addy, she says, you wanna come tomorrow? Or are you dead ass willing to climb onto the roof to get in my window? I say, I can't do tomorrow, and I'm already on the way. Now we going back and forth again, and I'm texting her while I'm fucking driving, and you know, she texts me, oh, you don't listen, I told you my grandma set the alarm, and I just end up saying, listen, can you send me one of their numbers so I can call and talk to them? She ended up sending me her mama's number. I call her mother, no response. I text Ada, she didn't answer, tell her it's me calling. Ada text her, she's in the shower. I tell Ada, let her know I texted and called her. She texts, okay, I don't know what she's doing. Bro, my brother just fell down the stairs, crying face, laughing. I don't give a fuck. Fuck is you talking about? Now it's 12 a.m. I am officially 1 hour into the drive. Her mother ends up texting me back, and pretty much how the conversation went, she ended up telling me, yeah, come tomorrow because, you know, her grandma locked up the house. She don't want nobody over, late night company. She don't want no late night company. So I just wasted an hour worth of gas because this bitch just couldn't send the address at 6 o'clock. That right there should have been my phone straw. I gotta stand up because my back hurt. God damn it. So, you know, her mother ended up saying I could come over the next day to their family dinner. But I just already thought, well, if Ada's a fucking murderer, she's going through all of these crazy situations. I don't even want to know what the fuck her family is like. For all I know, I'm walking into Assassin's Creed, nigga. This is a tribe of assassins knocking people off. A family full of hitmen, assassins, and just fucked up people. I don't want to meet these people. I ended up just telling her, hey, listen, you know, I called her and me and Ada had a conversation. The next day, I'm just like, hey, yeah, you know, can't make it today. Got some things going on for the hang out with my family and whatnot. Pull up on me Friday. Friday comes. I'm supposed to be seeing her that day, but guess what happens? She ends up getting sick. Every time I'm trying to link with this woman, something is happening. Something is stopping me from, seeing this woman. And I'm wasting all of this fucking time. All of this time I could have been spending on my purpose, my craft, my content, building my brand, my business. But no, I'm fucking around with this bitch. Like, what am I doing? Then she ended up, we hopped on the phone one day. She was asking me for money, asking me to send her some money, so she could get some food. I'm like, I haven't even met you in person. I don't even feel comfortable doing that with you. Just sending you money. What you talking about? Are you playing with me? This was while she was sick. She just wanted me to send her some money. I'm like, look, bro, you playing fucking games. I'm not finna keep doing this. And after that, it was just a lot of, back and forth. I would call her, then she wouldn't respond. Now she was kind of being more standoffish. She wasn't hitting me back. Just playing these little games, like trying to make me chase her. So I just stopped responding. I just said, fuck her. I'm done with her. And that was in January of 2025. June 15th of 2025, she sent me this message. Hey, Emery, how you been? Just was thinking about you, thought I'd reach out. And that was the last time I heard from Ada. I never called her back. I never reached out. I could FaceTime her right now. I could call her right now, but I'm cool because she was playing. So what did that teach me? First of all, the wrong woman can waste your time, but what was the moral of that story? When God gives you the signs, don't ignore them. Listen. Every time that I couldn't link with her was a sign from God. That was God protecting me from potentially fucking up my life. He saved me from probably getting killed on a handful of occasions, right? Because that was like 5-6 times I tried to link with her and something happened each time. So that leads me to situation number 5. Dating a stalker at 20. It was like any other day. It was kind of around my birthday, July of 2025. And I decided to go to Walmart. I wanted to actually get in some cold approaches, right? So I just said, okay, I gotta hit my quota. I do 3 cold approaches per day. Getting in some cold approaches, doing what I do. I got about 1, 2, another, 3, talking to people, talking to women specifically, seeing where things go. I like to put myself out there socially. But on the last approach, when I was leaving, it was this woman. And she had this long red hair and she was in this section like, I guess, stocking the clothes. And I just started looking at it, right? So I'm giving her some eye contact and she giving me some eye contact and she hold the eye contact. She don't break it. So I pimp up, I go here, I walk up. I'm like, okay, cool. Right? She get the smiling. Oh, and I'm walking over there because she already know what this is. Like, oh yeah, baby. You over there peeking, but you not speaking. Let me go ahead and change that for you. So I go ahead and make my way over to her. I'm like, excuse me. I'm looking for something here. I just need you to help me with this. She said, okay, what you looking for? I'm looking for this lip balm. She said, you looking for some lip balm? I said, I'm looking for this lip balm. I had her punch in a little, you feel me? I said, yeah, and I'm looking for another thing too. Your name. Oh God. So I go ahead. She like, oh my God. So you had me searching this up for no reason. I said, okay, but you have to understand. It was for a reason. It was to get to know you. Okay, so now we having this pleasant conversation and I'm just talking to her. We getting to know one another. Like, where you from? She said, I'm from Milwaukee. I said, I'm from Milwaukee. Oh, so we click, like, you know what I mean? We click. Okay, you from Milwaukee too? You moved down here? Cool. Hey, listen, what type of food you like? You already know. What type of food you like? So she telling me fast food, I like anything really. It just gotta taste good, it is what it is. We talked for a little minute, but I ended up getting her number. I got her number. And I told her, okay, listen, I'm gonna hit you up. We gonna have a nice little conversation over the phone or whatnot. I gave her a little hug and then, we went our separate ways. She went back to working. I went back to leaving the store because I was done with my cold approaches, okay? I think I bought a little something, I gotta make it look a little believable, like I'm in there shopping, right? I ended up leaving. I go back to the crib. I think this was the same night I got on the phone with her. And from here, we just having some conversation. We talking about, more of us. She told me she was from Milwaukee. I'm like, okay, when you moved down here, she said, okay, I moved here, about, a year ago, some years ago. I don't remember what the fuck she said. I'm just, you know what I mean? So it was just so much that was being said on that phone call. But I'm like, okay, cool. You know what I mean? I would definitely, love to, grab some food with you and pick your brain in person. I really like your vibe and I feel like you fucking with mine too. She said, I am. I said, okay, cool. So let's go ahead and make this arrangement and set it up. She says, okay, what day? I'm like, listen, what's your availability looking like this week? You know what I mean? I'm trying to see. I think she said she was free on like a Friday or something. I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah, we'll get some food on a Friday. Mind you, it's about like Saturday going into the next week. So we talking about like next Friday, right? So I'm like, cool, look, you know what I mean? I'm keeping contact. I might fuck around and pull up on you. I said, I know where you work at. She said, I wouldn't mind that. Pull up on me and talk to me then. I said, I will. You know what I mean? So, boom. Some days later, Wednesday hit. I'm leaving the gym. I text her. I say, what's up? How you feeling? She say, yeah, I'm doing all right. You know, how you doing? I respond, love to hear it. I'm blessed, so I can't complain. I love saying that. And then I text, let me guess, you at work bored. She respond, I know that's right. Most deaf, bored as fuck. I text, I bet if I was there, you wouldn't be though. She said, you think so? Question mark. I heart the message. I say, you'd have someone enticing to talk to. I'd probably make you nervous though. She say, that's true, and I don't think so. I might though. No. I say, we'll see soon enough. Send me some pics so you know I want to see a contact pic. You know, I'm just kind of testing the waters, you know what I'm saying? You know, okay, look though, that was that day. So time go by, we end up making plans to meet on a Friday. Didn't fall through, you know, she had to reschedule. Cool. Now the next week come, right? The next week comes. It's Tuesday. Once again, it's Tuesday, right? So I hit her up. What's up? You at work? You already know. I just left the gym. I just left the gym. She says, hi. Yes, I am. I say, got something to return. I'm finna pull up on you. I'm making my move now. She say, okay, boo. I say, where you at? She say, by the battery case in the back by stationary. Like I'm supposed to know where that is. So I text like I'm supposed to know where that is. But I ended up finding her, you know, I had some conversation with her, you know what I mean? We was hugging, we was talking, getting a little touch, you know what I mean? We just communicating with each other. Okay, cool. At 6:31 p.m., she texts me, you okay? I text back, yeah, I'm finna grab some food in a bit. She like, okay, I was just checking on you. I text her, I miss you too. You went on your break yet? She respond, girl, and no, not yet. I respond, Nate, what I tell you about calling me that? Cause she had this thing where she just called everybody like girl. I tell her like, hey baby, no, don't be calling me girl, motherfucking man, baby. You better put some motherfucking respect on my name. You call me daddy, you call me Emery, you call me M. You know, you don't call me motherfucking girl. You know, motherfucking girl, ain't no bitch. You know what I'm saying? I had to check her ass. I'll be checking her ass every time she say that shit. She texts back though, my bad, Mr. Nigga. You know what I mean? I heart the message. What you like on your Chipotle bowl? She respond, why? With a little eyes emoji. I say, I'm finna get us some Chipotle and you finna go on your break. She texts, I slick wanted Chick-fil-A. I say, well, hurry up. Tell me what you want. She texts back, a number one and a lemonade. I say, bet. I'm gonna text you once I get there and we gonna end the car. She said, okay, I'll go on lunch at 8 though. I say, that's perfect. That's perfect. I'll be there in 30 minutes because it was like 7:30 at the time. She respond okay, and you know what I'm saying? I get there, you already know she come out and we having some more spontaneous conversations. So you know, she hop in the car. I got this smooth little seductive voice, you know what I'm saying? Gripping on her thigh, talking to her. She had like her phone set up. We was like watching something as we was talking, you know what I'm saying? She like an iPad kid, so she had like the phone propped up on the little, you feel me? You know what I'm saying? I pulled up in my motherfucking Lexus. She was like, okay. And when she hopped in, she was like, damn, this is a nice, cause she kind of feeling around, you know what I'm saying? She playing around with the gadgets and whatnot. It's like, okay, this is real nice. Cause at the time, it was, I had just got it. You know, I had just got the car. So she peeped. I'm like, yeah, you know, a little something slight. Then I asked her, okay, so I saw you, you know, you was stocking them clothes. So, you know, you a stalker, huh? She was like, well, only if, you know, a person is, you know, really messing with me, you know, I can get like that. And yeah, so as long as that person isn't, you know, fucking with my feelings and really playing with my emotions, I won't have to do that. I'm like, I meant stalker, like your job, not actual stalker. She's like, oh. Stalker. Yeah, I'm a stalker. I said, and it was a brief silence. I'm like, did she just fucking confess that? I'm thinking she playing though, because you know, she fine, she look good. I'm like, She be like, I should have really sat there and processed what she said. She just told me she was a stalker. She told me that. But we continue on with the conversation because you know what I'm saying, I'm like, you know what I'm saying, we over here having a nice time, you know what I mean, we eating some food, I'm gripping on her thigh. I'm really feeling her. Now, I pulled up to her job about, you know, 2 more times in the span of like 2 weeks out, keeping in contact, you know, linking up, having some fun. But now it got to this point specifically where it's around my birthday. Now this shit is really about to get real. It was a night like any other. I had clocked in. I said clocked in. I got to my Airbnb because you know I had an Airbnb in there living lavish, just trying to have a nice time, a nice experience for my B-day. Cool. So I hit her up. I call her on the phone. Hey baby. I'm like, hey baby. She said, hey. I said, don't you hate me? You know I want to see you. She said, you want to see me? I'm like, I'll pull up on you right now. She's like, you're not gonna pull up on me right now. It's like 11, almost midnight. I said, what's wrong with that? I'll pull up on you. We gonna grab some food. And you know, you gonna chill me at this B&B. She's like, oh, you at the B&B? You know, I like show around like the B&B and whatnot. I said, yeah, you know, I got this all to myself and I just been thinking about you. So I wanna, you know, feel your touch and be in your presence. I just wanna see you. You know, alright, go. So cool. She with it. She sent me her location. I go ahead, I pick her up. Peep this. She get in the car. The B&B was like 30 minutes away. 5 minutes into that drive, she get to looking around. I'm like she was like really trying to find somebody. I'm like, you cool? So we stop at a red light. I'm like, you cool? She's like, yeah. I'm like, you trying to line me? You trying to set me? You know what I mean? I'm like, you cool? She like, yeah. I was like, what the fuck is you doing? I'm like, all right, you know what I mean? And we got to talking, and you know, it was back to chill. But that kind of set off an alert in my head. Now I'm kind of on edge a little bit. We end up hopping on the highway. You know what I mean? She said she wanted to see how fast that motherfucking Lexus goes. So I go ahead and throw on Real Gone by Sheryl Crow. If you don't know the song, you ain't watched Cars. Cars from Disney. I throw on that. I get this going on the highway. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna see how fast I was going. It was a fun time we had on that road. I'm like, oh, okay. So you not scared of going fast? She like, nah, I ain't scared of going fast, you know? So we go ahead, we go to Cookout. No, we didn't even go to Cookout. We was about to, but she was like, nah, I want some Wendy's. So we go to Wendy's, right? And she actually offered to pay for the food. I'm like, I got it. She's like, no, you know, you been doing stuff for me. I want to do something for you. I'm like, that kind of had me like, damn, I ain't really had nobody pay for my food before. I ain't had no woman pay for my food. She just want to offer to do. I'm like, okay. So she paid for the food, and we go to the B&B. Cool, we get there. Started off in the living room. You know, we was laid up, chilling, kicking it. Then we got a little tie, so we took it to the bedroom. We go to that motherfucking bedroom. We lay down. We decided we wanted to watch some Hunter x Hunter. She like anime too, cause I be watching anime. She put on Hunter. I'm like, okay, cool, we watching it. Tell me what, we laying down. She had like her glasses on and the remote was on her forehead like this. Like, I'm like, is you cool? She like, yeah, this how, you know, I don't know why I'm comfortable. I'm like, okay. That motherfucker slipped down, bow, hit me in my forehead. I'm sorry. She get to kind of giggling a bit. I'm like, I ain't gonna lie, give me this. She look at me, what is you doing? I'm just giving y'all, you know, a little backstory. We had some cute moments. I would have had her on the channel if she wanted to done something that is now not allowing her to be on this channel, which I'm about to tell you. The night goes on and we ended up getting a little nasty, doing what grown folks do all the way up until like 5 in the morning. Cool. So we all wake up, you know, me and her, we wake up. So now it's July 20th at about 10 or 11 a.m. Right? So I'm like, damn, you know, I'm about to go ahead and get in the shower. You want to get in the shower? She's like, no, I'm cool. I'm going to take one at home. After, you know what I'm saying, I got done doing that, for some reason, I kind of felt like it was a slight disconnect. Like, after I got my nut, you know, of course, you know, I made sure she got hers. I was making sure I was doing my thing. But here's what I'm saying. She was like, yeah, you know, I want you to hug me. I want you to touch on me. I'm like, I ain't trying to be that type of guy who's not trying to touch you or nothing, but Okay, I'm trying to kind of go to sleep. You know what I'm saying? We didn't did the do, you know what I'm saying? We go to sleep. And then we woke up the next morning. But we was all good though. We was all good. I'm just letting y'all know. Like that was an important piece. I need to pay attention to that. Right? Because she started to get clingy. She started to slowly but surely get more and more and more and more attached. And remember, we're not in a relationship. It probably feel like it for her. It kind of was like that, right? That's just the effect how it is messing with me. So anyways, I get in the shower. You know, so get dressed. She get washed up. She get dressed. I say, hey, baby, you want to grab some food? I want to make sure this aftercare is on point for you. I don't want you to be thinking you know what I'm saying? I'm really a genuine person. I ain't just finna lay down with anybody. I like you. I really fuck with you. Okay, cool. I get you some food. Make sure you good. Get you a little massage. She was like, no, I'm good. I don't need no food. No, I just want to, go home, get in the shower, getting on with my day. I'm like, okay, cool, babe. That's cool with me. So I take her to her motherfucking crib. After I take her to the crib, I'm on my day, you know what I'm saying? Because now I got some things to do. At 4:48 p.m., she sent me this text. The fuck you been doing? Question mark. Is you cool? Is you cool? Right? Because who is you getting hostile with? That's the first text message she sends. I'm like, so I respond, let's restart and drop the hostility. Good afternoon. How you feeling, my baby? She respond, good afternoon. I'm feeling fine. What about you? I say, I'm feeling amazing. I'm finna hit the mall. You got your piercings yet? Because she said she was going to get her piercings or whatnot. But she said, that's good. And my homegirl had some shit going on, so we scheduled. But then she says, who you was with? You going to the mall trying to be seen? Are we cool? Are we cool? Yesterday we was cool. We was all good. And now you just kind of tweaking on me. You getting a little clingy. I'm like, yo, what's going on? So now I'm just kind of feeling some type of way. I'm like, who are you talking to? Right? So I text her back, no one as of yet. And I'm always saying, baby, I went to shop. She said, mm-hmm. She was kind of toxic a little bit, I guess, the way she was talking. I be calming her ass down, I'm from Milwaukee too, baby. You know what I'm saying? That shit ain't gonna work on me, baby. I know how this shit go. You ain't finna talk to me crazy. We kind of be flirting like that. 10:01 p.m., she texts me, where you at? I ended up calling her. So we just talking for a little bit. She said, yeah, I kind of want to pull up on you. I want to see you again. I'm like, baby, I'm kind of tired tonight. And, I really, just want to get some sleep in because I honestly want to enjoy this B&B, the time that I'm spending here, I saw you. Okay, cool. This is my birthday weekend. I'm just trying to get away. Content be stressful. Life be life. And she's like, okay, yeah, I get it. She had a little attitude, but she like, I'm like, look, we gonna tap in, I'm gonna spend some time with you, what I'm saying, later on this week, you know what I mean? 20, 30 minutes later, she texts me, I wanted to see you, but I'm gonna let you get your rest. I heard the message. I said, for sure, we gonna tap in and see each other later this week. The next day, something happens. I decide to go out and I go to, a few stores, but I'm like, okay, I want to go to this store called D&K Sioux City, so I can get me some grown man attire, get some drip, get me looking right. Cool, so I'm in there, I'm shopping. 15 minutes go by. Somebody on the announcements starts to say, hey, I don't know if one of these are your cars, but we just got two people that broke in to a car. We just got two cars that just got broken into. One is a gray Cadillac. I'm like, oh, that ain't mine, I ain't tripping. And the other is a black Lexus. And it looks new. I said, damn. I'm like, damn, bruh. So I go ahead, I walk to the front, man. And they like, oh yeah, you got the black Lexus? I'm like, yeah, I got a black Lexus. They said, the new one? They said, oh man, that's a bummer. I'm like, damn, dog. I go outside. I even show y'all the damn clip. Window is busted out. I'm like, yo. And listen, after that, I'm calling my brother. I'm like, damn, bro, somebody just broke into my damn car. They ain't take nothing. I had my laptop. I had all my content equipment in there in the trunk. I had some things within that car that were very valuable, but they ain't even take nothing. They didn't take nothing. My phone was still in there, like my other phone, and my valuables, everything was still in there. 10 minutes after that happened, Nate texts me, okay, responding to the message, for sure, we gonna tap in and see each other later this week. I'm like, that's quite the coincidence. Remember, she told me she was a stalker before. Remember, she also was looking around crazy, when I was driving after I picked her up, like somebody was, I guess, following us or something was going on. And then This happens, and then 5 to 10 minutes after that situation, she texts me back. So I'm just thinking, is that her saying, yeah, stop fucking playing with me? Like, yeah, I can really do it to you if I want to. I'm thinking she kind of unhinged, and she from Milwaukee. You gotta understand, Milwaukee women are crazy. I called my brother Triton. He like, yeah, bro, I'm gonna be real. That's a major coincidence. You probably should cut her off. You know what I mean? I'm just like, damn, because I really did fuck with her. You know, she was kind of clingy, but it was like, I fucked with her, but that just had me like, damn, I can't do it no more. You crazy, right? And here's the thing. I still don't know to this day if she did it or not, but that was just a major coincidence. And I'm thinking that's God trying to show me a sign. I don't know. But I'm just like, damn, because she was getting kind of clingy and then sending these, crazy messages. I'm like, damn. So it just kind of alluded to the fact that, hey, shit, that's what she did. I just stopped reaching out to her. I just stopped reaching out to her. And 7 days later after that, she say, you must not fuck with me no more. I text her back, nah, I just got a lot more going on right now, and I'm in a season where I gotta stay locked in and focused on my vision. Fine as hell, fun to be around, and I love to keep it going, but from where I'm headed, I feel like we just don't align. So let's part ways, no bad blood. She responds, okay. And that was the last time I heard from Nay. Moral of that story: be careful who you bring into your kingdom, because as a king, the most important decision you're going to make is who you select to be your queen. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'll see y'all later.